everybody, and welcome back to another Kaizen match. Today we're going to be bringing you a T5 mixed match, T3 Demons versus Bliss Excelsior. Both teams being 2-2-0 in the standings, and if Excelsior does take this match, it does bring them to the second place. And I am actually joined here today by my co-host.
Hello, I'm Aqua. I'll be the killer today.
Would you like to let us know about the bans?
Right. So, the characters that have been banned so far are Baptiste, Lucio, Ramatra, and Sojourn. So a lot of brawl potential has been taken off the board on Samo, which is generally a map that is usually more favored for brawlier situations. So we'll probably see instead of a Lucio is a Juno. You could probably also see Juno Brig here. As I say that as well, a Juno Brig on both teams here. Almost exactly what I was about to say. Like, Rissa, if you ban the Ramatra, Rissa is going to be immensely better within a brawl position. Interesting that a player here is also going to be playing the Soldier 76, which would be usually a character you would see on areas with modestly longer sightlines than this Samoa submap here.
Yeah, and looks like we're gonna see the TP out of spawn here from Demons. And it looks like they're gonna look to wrap around and meet Bliss here. Bliss Excelsior. Both teams gonna have a pretty slow fight as there is no ult. Gonna look to play this slow.
Yeah, and it looks like right now Excelsior's Demons are looking to just walk up, try and take control of the space right now, make sure that Demons just don't have anything to work with.
Demons sustaining a lot of damage here, looking to kite out some of it and hopefully rotate onto point. Nori and Signal falling very, very low.
Yeah. Right now the point's just going to keep taking up. Signal is going to be taken out here as well. Nori tries to a little bit, but Demons are going to be able to flip the point here, get a little bit more ult charge off of just taking out some picks, and looks for like Nori's nearly going to get staggered here, but is able to get out, which is really good. If Nori had gotten staggered there, it would mean that Excelsiors would have had to try and take a slower fight and wait longer to actually go in for the next engage, which they are already starting on here.
Yeah, and the Juno falling pretty low, getting kicked out by Nori there. It is going to be... Nori picking out two there, actually. Going to be a 3v5. Signal looking to follow up on some of these kills and picking off Arrow there with Mogul. Able to keep following up onto the Tracer.
Very clean retake there by Demons there. I'm sorry. We getting the mix up a little bit. And along with that, they were able to keep all the ultimates that they started the fight out with. Pulse, Bob, or Terra Search. They'll have them going up as well, with Mogul getting very close to right here as well. Pulse getting a little bit low in the back there, but we're probably going to see a lot of ultimates be used here. But Excelsiors, they have to try and engage here really fast and force some ultimates from Demons here, and they're going to be opening up here with the tactical visor.
Nori able to get that pick, Pulse trading it out, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty even fight. Pulse using that Pulse Bomb there. Actually, we are going to see the Terror Surge come out, but unfortunately not catching anyone in it. Nori able to catch out one with that Pulse Bomb, but unfortunately Arrow does catch out Signal there. But we do have Bob come out in place of the tank there. And it looks like it is going to force Seltzer to fall back.
Yeah. Unfortunately for online there, they also tried to use Rally to negate the damage from the pulse, but they didn't cast it in time, so they lost their rally because of that. It does look like Excelsiors are still able to win the fight, just through a slower brawl, but it really is going to be detrimental if they don't have rally, given that Demons have both their support ultimates online here.
And we are going to see the Juno ult mirrored at the exact same time. Signal falling pretty low, but Nori able to pick out that Juno in the back line. We are going to see the Brig ult come out from Phantom here. And this is going to force Excelsior to have to back up and fight this damage.
Yeah, Demons here playing really aggressively, making sure that Excelsior doesn't have any space to work with. And online, being very low, Pulse is going to get taken out in here. I don't think Excelsior is going to have a touch here, looking like A very
Very staggered.
strong
And
start to the map
it is
for,
going to be a full wipe there.
yeah, very strong start here for Demons.
And it is going to be a pretty clean 1-0 for this map so far.
Going over to our next little sub map, we're probably going to be saying the same thing here with the Juno Brig Orisa. Overall, Oasis is a very brawl heavy map, so we'll likely continue to see that throughout this map should we go to a 0.3, but also Nori have been exchanging a lot of blows on the lanes, trying to keep control of said lanes, trying to get into the enemy backline, and it's been interesting to watch them trying to keep up with one another and also try and take out the other person's backline here.
Yeah, pretty even fights for both of them playing pretty slow and try to get those early picks to be able to advance on them. And we are going to see both of these Orisas try to mirror left.
Yeah, Air getting already very low here right now, so Signal is just going to be able to walk up for free here. Looking like Demons are trying to go really aggressively here.
Trying to get Arrow out of the back line. Signal unfortunately falling to point, being in a little bit of an awkward position there. We are going to see the Juno rings come out to try and be able to push up a little further. Signal really trying to look for this Tracer. Pulse able to pick out Nori though. Pulse looking to advance on this back line here. Larvin is able to trade it out for the Juno. Arrow looking to follow up on this backline, does unfortunately pick out Mogul there. Phantom does also fall to Arrow. Arrow really trying to get in Demon's personal space here.
It does look like here Excelsior will be able to get a pretty early start here on this sub-map here with a Terror Surge nearly online, 98 and counting, about to have it. Being able to just play their own, play at a slower pace allows them to just get the damage that they want to try and get. It looks here, Arrow's gonna be going for the backline with the Terror Surge.
Larvin able to actually trade that out though. The Terror Surge not catching anyone in it. We are going to see the Bob come out, and Larvin is going to be able to pick out another one. Signal trying to use his Terror Surge to pick out Arrow, but unfortunately just does not. Arrow falling very low. Signal is able to follow up on that kill there, and Nori able to follow up on that Tracer. And we are going to have some ults here for both teams. We're going to see Nori with the Pulse Bomb, Phantom with the Rally, and Pulse is also going to have their Pulse Bomb. And we are going to see both support ults on the ready for both teams.
So it doesn't look like Nori's going to be the early kill here.
Gonna be able to cap a lot more percentage off of that early pick. Looking really good for Demons so far.
Looks like right now Arrows just want to try and be playing a little bit more aggressive here, being able to just force out Demon's backline. It's probably gonna be their best option here.
Mogul falling very low. Unfortunately, Phantom does fall. They're trying to keep them alive. The best thing Demons can do here is contest this point, as they are going to look to save their ults here. It is a bit of a rough fight. Signal falling as they were just trying to contest out that point. Nori doing their best to try and get out, but unfortunately gets caught out by Arrow there.
A very good angle usage there by Excelsior, looking to just keep the pressure on Demon's backline. They weren't able to use any of their support ultimates, so both teams will have both support ultimates going in this next fight, but it's going to be up to Excelsior to try and handle the aggression coming out from Demons here.
We are going to see the Juno and both Brig Rallies come out here. Demon doing their best to try and fight this. Larvin falling very, very low. They are able to trade out Arrow right there as Larvin does fall. Demon able to follow up onto that back line and secure some kills as they do get pretty aggressive there. They are able to recap that point. They are coming up to 70% here as they do only have a few more fights left. We do have both pink ults on the ready, and we do have the Juno ult still from Excel ready.
Yeah, Demons stacked up both of their support ultimates, which did help them win the fight, but Yeah, lost a lot of defensive utility going into this next fight, which they are going to have to try and deal with here as Ray from Tarkin Link comes out.
The Juno ult does come out. We do also have the 76 ult on the ready there, just looking to push back Demons here. Both teams able to get a pick. We do have the Terra Surge and the 76 visor come out. It looks like Demon is doing their best to escape this, and they are able to kite that damage, but they are still down Nori here.
Yeah, but now here, Excelsior is only going to have Pulse, which, given the ult economy here for Demons and how fast they like to play so far, it's going to be a bit of a good uphill battle here. As I say that, though, as well, Signal comes out the Terra Surge.
We are going to have the Bob come out here from Larvin, trying to help take down that tank. Pulse, unfortunately, able to get the Pulse Bomb onto Larvin here. That Bob just not being able to do a lot of damage as they are able to kite that damage. Signal, though, able to take out Arrow and push this Brig into the corner, and looks like they're going to be able to take them down as well. Both teams pretty even. Mogo falling pretty low there. They are at 99%. Excel is really going to need to recap this point here, but it looks like Demons is just going to go on a rampage and secure those kills, bringing them the second point on that map.
A very strong start here out for Demons. The second sub-map was pretty even with point constantly flipping back and forth, but starting out here, Demons seem to be playing a lot more aggressively in comparison to how Excelsior is wanting to play themselves, and they're struggling to be able to react to that. It is going to be up to Excelsior to figure out what they want to do to try and counteract that. But now that we are going to our next map, they'll Excelsior will have the options of the hybrid maps in our pool, which would be Kings Row, Eichenwald, Hollywood, and Blizzard World.
And we will be back soon with that map pick. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are going to King's Row for our second map here, and Aqua's going to kick us off with our bans.
Right, so Excelsior had the options to get first ban, which they chose Orisa and Widowmaker, while Demons have decided to go with uh, Soldier 76 and Kiriko. Soldier 76 appears to be a targeted ban towards specifically player on Excelsior, trying to wipe that from the hero pool to force something else to be played. And because that player does seem to be have swapped out for actually both DPS on Excelsior have been swapped out, with now Carlos and Blitzbrain coming in, and Pulse being moved over to the support lineup. With that being said, though, from looks of it, Demons are trying to run trying to stick with the Juno break composition instead, going with a Ramatra, while Excelsior starting out on attack here is going to be maybe playing this Wrecking Ball Roadhog. I'm not entirely sure, but sticking with a Baptiste Alari backline for the most part.
Alright, and we are going to have Demons on the defense here and Excel on the attack. This Tracer really trying to poke this Pharah out and get a lot of damage going. And it looks like we are going to have a pause.
I believe Carlos was AFK was the reason.
Oh, okay.
They didn't pick the character.
Alright, we are ready. Going back in. Gotta get A ready from Demons.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are
Alright.
now fully ready.
And now Carlos has looked at their character. We are going to see a Junkrat come out here. Kind of an interesting choice that the Pharah Junkrat combo is going to be doing a lot of damage to any of the shields here. Gonna look for some off angles here. Nori falling pretty low there. Waiting for some heals up on the high ground. Unfortunately, that passive just kicking in.
The main issue that Excelsior is going to have here is that they don't have a lot of pushing power here, but they only really have poke to work with. Arrow here getting pretty low, but is able to put a little bit on point for a little bit.
Signal also falling pretty low there, but fortunately that Nemesis form able to sustain all that damage with the block. We are approaching some ults here, and Nori getting pretty close with that ult. Blitzbrain and the and Parka also getting pretty close with the Alari ult there. Blitzbrain is going to be able to pick out Nori there, which is going to be a pretty big pick. Nori always constantly being on that off angle.
Signal also going to get pretty low here. Carlos has been putting a lot of pressure up in this hotel area on the back line of Demons, and because that and a few extra kills coming out from Tarkalin here, they are going to be able to actually get the cap here with Signal and Phantom swapping over to the Mauga and Honor respectively, looking to maybe play a little bit fast here and way more aggressive with the Intimidate onto Demons' Roadhog.
We are also going to see an Ashe swap here from Nori, and we do have this Sojourn ult on the ready here for Larvin. But we are going to have the Bap, Alari, and Pharah ult, and we are going to see the swap from Arrow onto the Zarya here. It is going to be a pretty difficult fight to get through this pinch here. Gonna really need to try and look to get those early picks there.
A lot of Tire maybe gonna find some, but a lot of ultimates are gonna be ready here for Excelsior, so that Demons tend to give a lot of it space here. Unfortunately, Tire just not gonna find anything here.
And Blitz really trying to look to go on this off angle and hopefully catch some people out with the barrage, but unfortunately just gets poked right back. Excel taking a lot of space here. We do have the Juno ult come out here, and we do have the Pharah barrage come out, catching out Nori, but we are able to trade it back. Both teams pretty even. We do have only both supports alive for Demon. They are going to need to look to back up here, but unfortunately that Juno does get staggered there. The Ana does manage to get out though.
Yeah, Mogul staggering there means that Demons are not going to be able to try and go for the recontest. They have to now try and play for their point. And with 4 minutes here for Excelsior, they're going to have a lot of time to work with. Given they only have a grab on the way and Captive Sun, but it's still going to be pretty threatening, especially since there isn't a lot of defensive support here for Demons.
Demon's gonna need to look to play this point pretty slowly, as you said. With the 4 minutes remaining on the clock, we do have the Mauga Nano come out, looking to deal a lot of damage. We are able to secure those picks for Demon there. We do have 2 ults on the ready for them, but as we do see, the Zarya grab and the Alari ult is ready, so we are gonna see quite a bit of ult combos ready here for this next fight.
Blitzbrain is also going to be swapping over to the Genji, maybe looking to play a little bit more aggressive faster with the help of Arrow on the Zarya with the bubbles. But Cage is also going to be ready here for Signal, which can be very threatening if anybody on the backline of Excelsior gets isolated. Arrow goes down.
Both teams having a pretty dry fight, no ults ready. Carlos does have the Riptire ready once again, but Larvin coming up pretty close on the ult, as well as Mogul with the Juno ult getting pretty close here. We do have the Junkrat Tire come out, possibly able to get a pick. We do have the Alari ult also go out, which is a little surprising as they did not combo the ult with the grab. Mogul able to pick off that Junkrat Tire. The Alari ult does miss.
And still a lot of ultimates for Excelsior to be ready. Now they are going to use the Cage. They are going to have Ray here almost as well.
We are going to have the McCree ult come out here. The grab does come out. The Junkrat really trying to do a lot of damage. Signal, though, able to pick... Not going to follow up on those kills, unfortunately. They just decide to opt out there. Nori going to use the Bob here, help create some space. It does look like Demons is going to be able to hold off Excel here. We do have the BAP ult ready for Excel, and both support ults still on the ready here for Demon.
Yeah,
Larva able to get that pick.
Signal is also trying to play here pretty close up to this first corner. Probably looking to bait Excelsior in. Make sure that they are able to chip away some HP along with it. It also does help in getting Cage back faster, which is going to be something very important here. Blitzbrain going pretty early here onto Nori.
Ooh, Nori able to pick out Blitzbrain there with a pretty clean headshot. They are going to get that early pick, and they are going to look to maybe try and push up with it. Arrow falling pretty low, using the bubble there to get out. Signal just really trying to make some space and push back Excel here. We do have a full support ready. Full support ults ready for both teams. We do have the Baptiste window come out and try and do some damage. Genji does get slept, and we are going to kite this damage here by backing up. Try and play our corners.
And Grabs is going to be almost right. Larv actually funding another here.
Lara falling pretty low, but able to finish up that Genji there just barely with that nice clean flick. Lara able to find another one onto Carlos. Excel does only have 50 seconds remaining on the clock there with this pretty strong hold. They do have almost full ults, but Excel does have 4 ults as well.
Yeah, it looks like going into the next fight there is going to be a bit of an ult dump happening, so that is something that both teams are going to have to keep in mind though. But Signal nearly does have Cage here, so there's a bit of a slight advantage in the ult dump fight here as everything's going off all at once now.
We are going to see the Cage come out to try and protect their team there. They are able to succeed in that. We do still have 2 ults ready for Excel here. This Junkrat trying to look for a sneaky Riptire onto the team. but Larvin able to pick out that tire pretty quickly. Nori does get picked off. Mogul ready with the Juno ult. Excel does only have 5 seconds to cap this point. They do opt for the Magamir. We do see both ults come out from the teams, but it does go in favor of Demon here. This Juno really looking to try and get aggressive. Signal pushing up with it.
Signal nearly got pooped off the map though. However, able to find another kill still, but the assault is going to keep going. Bull's going to get taken out, and with that, at the first corner of third point, Excelsior is going to get stopped.
It is looking pretty good for Demons here, as they do not have to push it fully. They do have plenty of time to be able to push it pretty far.
Yeah, good push there by Excelsior, able to get past second point onto third, which means that they are going to have a lot of space to work with, but once it is going to get, if it does get to third for them, it's going to be a bit of a difficult hold since they don't really have that much space to work with. Main thing going into this for Demons' attack here is that they have to worry about the back high ground. Excelsior wanted to start off on a very pokey comp and is stuck with the Alari the entire time, which loves to play the high ground, loves to just spam down chokes along with the Junkrat. If you're on the Junkrat, you're able to spam from a distance, do a lot of damage, build your tire really fast, and do get a lot of kills off of that and a lot of value. So going into that, it looks like that Demons are going to be trying to play the hazard, try and go fast here with the Juno Ana, looking to just hit a nade, hit somebody on the back line with the wall, and just get a kill pretty quickly. Along with that, just having Ring for the extra speed is going to try and be a little bit of help here. Nori on the Genji as well, going double flex here.
Absolutely, and it looks like we are going to see a pretty similar comp from Excelsior. Still running that Junkrat, and we are going to have that Ramatra as they did start with here. This Hazard really looking to try and wrap around with this Tracer here, like you said, trying to secure those early picks. Phantom really trying to look for a nade here. This Juno also rotating with the Tracer here. Demons really looking to try and get a good angle onto Excel here. Bliss, though, ready to wrap around themselves. Pulse able to secure a pick onto Mogul, though, but Nori able to trade it off and get that Tracer out of the way.
Mogul was pretty isolated there, and so the kill is going to be pretty quick there for Bliss Brian. But now, though, it does look like the Signal's going to be able to secure the high ground for Demons' backline.
And it looks like Signal is going to be able to get on point here, falling pretty low. Carlos able to get a pick onto Nori here. We are going to see the wall come out, and it looks like Demons might try to back up here. Larvin able to follow up that kill, though. Blitz able to follow up on Phantom, though. It is a pretty even fight. We do see the pulse bomb come out onto Carlos here. Signal able to pick out Blitzcrank. Carlos, though, does unfortunately catch the Tracer in their trap. Nori trying to follow up, help push back the team. We do see the wall come out, blocking Excel from pushing up further.
Yeah, it does look like we're going to see the point slowly start down here. Excelsior are able to get a good regrouping. They might be able to recontest here. As they do that, they are going to be using the Captain 7 to do so.
Very good wall that came out here from Signal. We do have the Nano also come out to help keep Signal alive here. We do have the Nano come out onto the Alari, actually, also. This Alari doing a lot of damage. Pretty scary to have that Alari on the back line, able to poke out the DPS. Larvin, though, able to get that pick onto the Ana here. We do have the Ramatra ult come out. Signal trying to use that wall to keep the Ramatra away, but unfortunately just falls too low and not able to escape there.
Yeah, right now the Demons are really struggling to find a strong hit onto the backline of Excelsior, which is kind of what you need if you're running this Tracer Hazard. You need a strong hit, get a kill, and then get out. But they haven't been able to do that. But here, they are actually going to be able to do it with the Ray and the Downpour.
We are going to have a lot of ults come out here, able to pick off 3. We do once again have the Alari ult come out, but Signal able to pick that off. Larvin able to follow up on that Ramatra, and it looks like Demons is going to be able to finish capping this point.
Yeah, the Ray downpour was able to secure two kills both on Carlos and Blitz Brian, so they did, a lot of damage was taken off the field, and so without that poke in the way, he, like, Demons were able to quickly find the backline of Excelsior. Now it looks like that Demons are going for a pretty aggressive play here, trying to keep Excelsior just stuffed at the second point cap here.
Nori able to get that pick onto Pulse is going to be very, very good and allow them to push up, as Excel is going to be pretty low on heals. Nori able to follow up on that second support there, and it looks like they might be able to pick off Arrow here. Signal really trying to wall them off, and they are able to follow up on it, and the Tracer does trade out the Tracer here. Demons is going to be able to continue pushing this point. Their ult economy looking pretty even for both teams. We are going to see the Nano most likely come out this upcoming fight.
Looks like Carlos is about to secure a sneak kill. Yep. Able to find a very quick sneaky kill. Was not killed the prior fight. Was able to just find Nori unsuspecting. That's actually going to be the team fight very quickly there.
Smart decision for Demons to back up. Carlos is really trying to look for a sneaky ripfire here.
Yeah. Along with that, Pulse is going to be ready. Annihilation as well for Excelsior. They're going to have a lot of ultimates to work with, but the Demons do have Nano and Bob ready as well. So that's something to watch out for.
We are going to see Signal try and go on this off angle here and create some space for the team. Arrow falling pretty low here. We do have the Bob come out. Nori able to get that pick onto the Alari. The Junkrat Tire does come out, and it does not look like it picked anyone out. It is a pretty even fight here. That Bob is able to finish off that Ramatra there. Signal able to follow up on Carlos. It looks like Demons is going to be able to keep pushing this payload possibly. That Tracer on the back line, able to get that Juno. It does. They are maybe going to try and touch here.
I don't think Signals is going to be able to get full point cap here.
No.
Yeah, Blitz has touch, and the rest of Excelsior are on the way. Signal just has to try and get out with their life. They do have a downpour ready, which, as we've seen already, can provide a lot of value with how stacked Excelsior is right now. This is actually going to find two.
An Arrow does unfortunately get slapped there, and oh! Demons is almost able to cap that point, but it's off just too soon. They are going to be able to pick off Arrow, though, as it is a 5v1. They are able to continue pushing this point, but they do only have 2 minutes to push it as far as Excel did.
Yeah, and they do have the resources to do it. They have Pulse, they have Ray. It's just they need to make sure to not get it taken out early here. Norley, though, nearly taken out early. My words were almost eaten.
Norley falling pretty low. Gotta be really careful with this fight. They are getting pretty close to this point. We do see the Alari ult come out. It is able to catch the Ashe out, but Nori does survive just by a hair.
How is Nori not dead?
I know!
Both ultimates that Excelsior had are going to be used here, and Blitz is going to get taken out by Nori, who just nearly died 3 times with his Ray to bring death to Excelsior.
And we do have the Ray come out, Signal able to follow up with it. Mogul able to secure that kill, and it looks like Demons is going to be taking map 2 here.
Yeah, another strong map here for Demons. So we are already going to be here at Series Point with beautiful play of the game here by Nori. But now that means that Excelsior are going to have the options of our escort map pool, which is Route 66, Rialto, Shambali, and Circuit. Given what they've seen Demons play, it's going to be interesting to see what they want to try. Because it seems right now that Demons is a very adaptable team. But with that, though, we'll find out after this short break.
Yeah. Hello everyone, and we are back. We are going to map 3, Route 66 with the... Oh my gosh! With the score in favor of T3 Demons being 2-0. Aqua is gonna let us know about these bans.
So we have a very interesting ban thing happening here. We have 4 DPS banned and absolutely no tanks or supports banned. We have Tracer, Ash, Freya, and Junkrat all being wiped from the face of the earth this map. And along with that, Route 66 was chosen. And as we are at the midpoint of a map 5 series, or what could theoretically be a map 5 series, after map 2, we have a team swap. So now it'll be Demons starting out on defense here. Wait, no. Excelsior starting out on defense here with Demons starting out on the attack here. Sticking with the Juno Ana that they played last map, but going with Genji Winston, going for a bit of a strong dive here with the Widow looking to just have that one-shot potential, while Excelsior are going to be running Bap, Lucio, Soldier, Sombra, a Hazard, which is a bit brawly, it's a bit divey, it's kind of a lot of different things all at once. Bit of a jack of all trades type of composition here.
Yeah, and we are gonna see the break switch come out from Mogul here. We do actually have a tank swap here for Demons. Cran now being on this Winston, gonna look to possibly dive into the back line of Excel with Nori. Larvin really gonna try and go for these picks on the Widowmaker, but unfortunately just not having any good angles. Arrow able to pick off Phantom for that early pick to get started. It looks like Demons is gonna look to try and back up and refight this.
Yeah, Blitz is also being a bit of a nuisance there for Larvin, as well as the rest of Demons. Is just keeping the virus going, TPing out, making sure that like there isn't a lot of free space to work with Larv, because that is actually gonna be swapping over the Sojourn to still have some burst potential, but generally has much more survivability compared to the Widowmaker.
And we are gonna see this Sombra look to try and get some picks, falling pretty low. Rooney does actually get picked out by the Winston there. Larvin also almost getting picked out. Mogul falling. This Ana does look to back out, does sleep that Hazard. Pulse falling to half HP here. It looks like Excel is going to look to try and take this high ground here. Cran really looking to try and cause some disruption in the back line, but unfortunately Demons just kind of spread out all over.
Yeah, Pulse is also going to have downboard here, but Cran going very early here with this Nano, but Rooney finds kill to Nori.
Unfortunately, this Nano just not doing much. Pulse getting all healed up. Blitz does fall to Cran, actually. Pulse getting slept there and antied. It looks like he is going to fall to Cran. Also, Arrow once again able to pick out the Ana there. And it looks like Demons is going to be able to continue pushing this pay ground. And Demons is also going to look to try and take this high ground here and prevent Excel from being able to fall onto them. Larvin able to get that early kill onto the Baptiste. It does cause Excel to have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, very good kills there by Demons, easily finding the front line, make sure that there isn't that much front line pressure with. But going into this, there's going to be a lot of ultimates going off from here. Nori starting it off with the Dragon Blade.
We are going to see Cran follow up with that Dragon Blade there, doing a lot of damage. Pulse falling pretty low, and it looks like they are going to get the stagger off onto that Hazard, and they are going to be able to push to the second point. We do have a lot of ults ready for both teams here, but it is going to go in favor of Excelsior having all 5 of those ults ready.
Yeah, Nori and Phantom using Nano and Blade, so... Actually, no, Phantom just didn't have it, my bad. I'm misremembering, but... Yeah, a lot of ultimates here are going to be ready for Excelsior, so they are going to have a lot of resources to work with here. And I'd say that 3 are going to go off all at once.
And Cran gonna try to push this payload a little further. All of Demons does fall, but they didn't. Excel does not get to stagger off on them. And now the ult economy does go in favor of Demons. We're gonna look to try and use some ults this fight. They should be able to continue pushing, as they do have quite a few good ults on the ready for them.
Yeah, Grandop does have Primal, which is going to allow them to just stay in the back line of Excelsior for a lot longer. You have a lot of HP looking to just create a lot of disruptions. Yes, you do have the window and the beat, but that are going to be difficult to work with. But here, Grandop, though, finding an early kill onto Arrow, now going to be using the Primal to try and take out Tark.
We are also going to see the Sojourn ult go off and pick out Tark there. Demons is in the back line of Excelsior and is able to follow up with all those kills. The Hazard trying his best to get out, but does get caught by Nori, and there is going to be a pretty big stagger onto that Hazard once again.
Yeah, we are also going to see here on a Park swapping over to Ana, Pulse swapping over to the Winston. Looking to now play a lot more for the dive, but you still have Beat, but in comparison, Blade, Nano, and Rally are going to be ready here soon. And it looks like that Excelsior is going to be opening this up with the Beat.
And we are going to see the Nano come out onto the Winston. Nori able to follow up with that Winston, able to pick out a lot of the backline once again. And it looks like it is just going to be the Winston left on point for Excel and that Sombra. The Demons is able to finish them off. Blitz not going down without taking Nori with them, though.
Yeah, the main issue you have with using the Beat there so early is you don't have the defensive utility against any engagement that Demons might go for. But Rooney also is swapping over to the Brick, so maybe the idea is just have something a little bit more survivable going into this next fight, this next point. But Nori here has played very carefully here. They do have Blade, but they are going to get taken out pretty early though by Arrow.
Arrow and Blitz really on these off angles here, able to secure some early picks for Excel. That Sombra able to escape just barely as Cran does dive onto them. Pulse really trying to play this high ground and maybe deal a little bit of some extra damage onto Demons here. Demons is going to be able to continue pushing this point. Nori already again falling very, very low. We are going to have both teams ready with a lot of ults here, hoping to see some come out. Larv does get picked out by Blitz, and we do see the Sombra ult and Nori use Dragon Blade here. It is going to be a very tradable fight, and it looks like Pulse is really going to try to collapse onto these supports, but the break does deter him. And we are going to see a Winston 1v1 actually.
Yeah, both teams are going to be having Primal here ready soon, but Demons have just been able to push it so far. But Tark, with a very good nade, is going to be able to find Larva, and so looks like the engagement there by Demons is going to be shut down here pretty quickly.
And there is going to be a minute and 10 seconds left on this clock. Demons is going to look to try and force out some of these ults here. We are going to see a swap from Nori onto the Cassidy.
Yeah, along with that, so a lot of ultimates are going to be ready here for Demons, and as I say that, Nano's going to be used pretty quickly. You're with the overclock, finding 3 together with that.
Demons able to secure a lot of kills for them. Pulse able to follow up with the Winston ult, though only picking out Larv. It looks like he's going to try and contest this point and possibly get out. They are very low HP, able to catch that Mega, though we do see the 76 ult come out. Demons does continue to push. Nori and Park able to trade off kills. Rooney catching out Nori, though we do have the Sombra on the back line here, looking to dish out some damage. We do have the Winston ult come out from Cran to help them try and sustain, but unfortunately Blitz able to pick off that Winston. Demons is going to try to back up here and possibly, just maybe possibly, go for that last touch with only 3 seconds remaining. Nori does get picked out by Arrow, and Demons is not going to be able to touch this point.
Yeah, very good push there by Demons, just barely coming short of the full cap there, which it can be a little full cap on Route 66 can be pretty difficult. a lot of the time, since spawns are just that close together to that final checkpoint. But overall, pretty good push, and it's now going to be Demons' turn to try and defend against Excelsior. We are going to have to wait a little bit to see what either team's going to be going to lane, but from the looks of it, we're probably going to be sticking with Winston dive of some sort, and looks like I was at least right for Excelsior here running the Winston on a interesting bringing out the Echo, which we haven't seen throughout the series yet. Well, Larv going onto the Mei, which we also haven't seen, but also still sticking with the same Ana Brig setup. Looks like
It's a completely
with
different
the
deal
Sojourn
outside
as
the
well,
fight.
Demons are playing more to just play for very soft dives with the Winston, just create a little bit of space, while the backline just denies any resources towards the Winston with the Mei wall. Actually, the Torbjorn now. So playing still similar, but instead looking to do heavy poke and play a little bit more counter divey.
Yeah, looking to most likely protect the supports in the backline there with the turret, try and help them out if they do get dived. Demon's team already, though, falling pretty low, and Tran, unfortunately, falling pretty early, which is going to allow Excel to be able to push up pretty far. As they are down a tank, they are going to need to look to back up here, and hopefully no one else gets picked off.
Yeah, early pick there is going to force a lot of resources there by Demons, but Roundup's going to be able to get here pretty fast, so they still have time to try and retake some space and get a decent engagement going here.
Excel doing pretty well with poking out that turret, preventing a lot of that extra damage. Excel really pushing this point pretty quickly here, and it looks like the Torbjorn is going to fall to pulse here, and Nori does get slapped, but able to get bubbled by the tank there.
Arrow also, though, gonna get down here pretty late.
Pulse looking to push back Demons once again.
A very strong push here from Excelsior. They are gonna have 5 minutes going into second lane here. Nori swapping over to the Soldier 76. Was a little bit unsure if they wanted to swap over to the Cassie for a moment, but really still just playing the same idea for this heavy poke style. A lot of critical signs, but as well, Bliss is going to be very close here to duplication. It's going to be very scary for Demons.
We are going to see the Nano come out here, but Fran does get slapped by that Ana, and they do leave him on point to sleep. We do see the Echo copy come out here, falling low, and does get removed. We do have the Molten Core come out, but unfortunately Pulse is able to take that out with Primal. And it looks like they are gonna continue pushing this. We are gonna see the Soldier 76 ult come out from Arrow, but Nori able to get those headshots in and just get rid of Arrow. Pretty even trades here. Nori able to catch out 2, but Excel also catching out 3 actually. Fran unfortunately falling to Tart here.
Well, it looks like right now Larvin is able to get a kill onto Blitz, but it does look like they're going to trade their life, or Fran swapping over to the D.Va, looking to play more heavily the counter dive, trying to just deny any space towards Pulse. Along with that, we're going to see Larv now swapping over to Cassie, running a double hit scan setup.
Looking a little scary here. Fran able to get that early pick onto Arrow. Nori falling pretty low, getting picked out by Pulse. Once again, we do have the Brig ult actually get stunned here. Pretty even trades once again from both teams here. Fran really gonna look to try and take out this Brig here. This D.Va possibly getting DMAX. The Ana able to get the nade onto the D.Va and possibly heal them back up. Nori able to get the kill onto Arrow. And unfortunately, the D.Va does get DMAX here, but Nori possibly able to follow up and kill that Winston.
Yeah, that is going to be the team fight there, with Tark being the final person for Excelsior to fall. Being thinking about engaging, but decided against it. You're going to see here now Mogul swap over to the Baptiste off of the Brig. Maybe looking for a little bit of a higher DPS output. compared to the Brigitte, looking to just make sure that the front line gets bursted down as quickly as possible. We are going to see here Primal going to be right here. Nori getting pretty low as Excelsior sets up for their engagement.
Winston already falling pretty low. Both teams looking pretty good on the ult economy. We do have the Nano come out onto the D.Va here.
No.
It does get slapped off the map by Tark. That is so unfortunate. Arrow able to follow up onto Nori. We are going to see the Winston ult come out and cause a lot of destruction. And we do have the Echo ult also come out and catch out Larv there. And unfortunately, it does look a little rough for Demons here. Excel able to cap this point. They do have 3 minutes to push it all the way. Demons is going to need to put up a very good defense. We do have the High Noon come out, but it does not catch anyone out.
Yep. Excelsior is going to have 3 minutes going into this third point, which is a very generous amount of time for them to get the picks in the team fight that they need to close this map out. But starting out here, Demons are going to have a very strong ultimate advantage with all their DPS, all of their frontline ultimates, along with Window right on the way here. Forcing on Nano as well onto Pulse.
We do have the D.Va ult come out for the remake here. Larv really looking to try and get a pick here. Nori able to follow up onto the Winston, and it looks like this D.Va is going to be able to make a lot of space pushing up onto the back line, possibly here. It looks like they opt not to.
We are also going to see now Blitz swap over to the Sombra off the Echo. Maybe playing to just get the play a little bit faster. Now trying to get hacks on the back line here. Window going to come out as well and just burst down Pulse incredibly quickly.
And now that Excel is down their tank, they are going to need to look to play this slowly and wait for them to come back. 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Demons is still going to need to play this defense pretty strongly, as they do only have the Soldier 76 and the Nano ready. They are going to have the Brig and Soldier 76 ready for Excel here. This Winston's going to look to try and dive onto the supports in the back. Decides to dive onto the D.Va there with the Cassidy and does pick them out.
Nori still does have the tactical visor, which is going to be a little bit scary here. And Grand Cop, though, is very isolated, getting the D-Mech because of that, and now has to try and get the Remech as well. The Phantom getting slept and killed here.
And Demons is going to need to be very careful here as Excel does approach this point pretty quickly. This Brig is looking to stagger this D.Va, and I don't believe that Demons is going to be able to touch this point. Excel taking map 3 here.
Now, very good map here by Excelsior, able to get their first map win of the series, which is good. It means that they are still able to bring the series back, get the win if they're able to just keep this momentum going. But with that though, that means that now they don't get to choose any more maps, and it's going to be up to only Demons, and they have our push maps to choose from this time around with Esperanza, Coliseum, and Rosapi, but we have to wait a little bit for that.
Yeah, we'll be back soon. Hello everybody and welcome back. The score is now 2-1, and for map 4 here we are going to Runasapi for push. Aqua's gonna let us know about our bans.
Okay. Yeah, we do have more bans as per usual. So from the side of Demons, they are going to be banning the Wrecking Ball and the Soldier 76. Again, looking to just target ban what Excelsior was running. And from the side of Excelsior, they are running they are banning the Juno Cassie, looking to probably for something a little bit more dive oriented on Runasapi, as both those characters are very good in a brawl composition. Your Juno Brig Cassie, he can be incredibly difficult to kill and very strong in a brawl. And with that though, interestingly enough, we're sitting on a Brig and Bat Brig from Excelsior and Demons respectively, which Bat Brig plays very heavily for poke, heavily to just not die, along with the Orisa. It makes that really, not, I wouldn't say easy, but very doable. Well, Pulse is going to be running out on the Hazard Genji to play a little bit more aggressively, play faster, play a little bit more divey, still have some brawl potential. So it's interesting to see how these two teams play against each other, especially since how slow Ursa plays a lot of the time.
Yeah, like you said, we are going to see Signal back here on the Orisa. The tank's getting traded out. Once again, we are going to see this Orisa attempt to make space, maybe poke out some people in the back line there, trying their best just to ignore this Hazard and push them back a little bit. We do have the Dynamite come out. Unfortunately, does not catch anyone out. Signal really trying to walk onto these supports. Does get walled off, but does manage to pick out that Ana there.
A nice early kill there for Demons. Is going to be able to open up the rest of the fight here. Is now there's going to be a lot less sustain here for Excelsior.
Nori able to follow up on the back of Pulse here with that kill with Signal. We are gonna, Demons is gonna look to push back Excel here. Larv able to get that late pick onto Rooney. It does cause them to stagger. It is gonna allow Demons to push this bot pretty far off of that late pick actually.
Yeah, looks as well. Pulse is gonna be swapping over to the Diva. Still trying to play Divey, but has a little bit more poke in comparison. Can be a little bit more mobile though. Arrow though finds a very good early headshot onto Larvin.
And it looks like Excel is gonna look to retake this robot here. We are coming up on some ults for Demons here, but we do have the Sojourn ult almost on the ready actually for Excel, and this Diva is gonna try to look to wrap around on this back line, possibly pick out that BAP, but almost gets picked out, does get picked out themselves actually, which is very unfortunate. And it looks like the Brig does almost fall there. Blitz not able to follow up on that kill, as possibly they didn't realize that the Brig was low and does get picked out by Mogul.
Yeah, a bit of a greedy play there by Pulse. It is gonna get punished, and with that, it was a pretty dry fight for both teams. No ultimates were used, so a lot of ultimates are going to be ready. We're gonna have Rally, Window, and Terra Surge with Bob closely on the way. Pulse was used by Nori, but it's an ultimate that's going to come back pretty quickly here. While Excelsior are going to have Overclock, Nano, Blade, and soon a Rally to go along with that. But a lot of critical health signs for Signal going as Demons has already made it well past the first stroke, first cap point.
Signal able to actually get a 3k there and keep following up, and it looks like they are gonna manage to keep pushing here, and Signal is just looking to make as much space as they possibly can for the team. Arrow is going to swap from that Sojourn onto the Ashe here, and we still do have a lot of ults ready for both teams. Pretty even ult economy for each side. We do have the Nano come out here, and it looks like possibly the Blade might come out here. We don't actually see the Blade come out here, which is kind of interesting. The Nano kind of getting wasted. We do have the Brig ult come out. Larv and Nori able to pick off two. We do finally have the Blade come out, picking off Larv in that back line. Blitz able to catch out two more on top of that. Mogul and Phantom falling. Nori not going down without a fight, though. Signal able to possibly follow up on Blitzbrain here. This Tracer looking to wrap onto him, but is not able to follow them as they are pretty low on HP. Signal and Nori just gonna look to back up here as Excel does have that spawn point advantage with it being right in their spawn. Nori does get caught out and very lately staggered by Pulse, unfortunately.
Nori is going to be able to get back pretty quickly. It's going to be a while before Excelsior is going to be able to even attempt to take away a forward spawn from Demons. But along with that, Rudy is going to be swapping from the Brig over to the Kiriko, looking to have a little bit more angle pressure and a little bit more aggressive pressure on the backline, but not as much defensive utility. Now Window coming out as well, takes out Pulse, has to force the bomb there.
And Demons still having two ults on the ready for them. Phantom does get picked out by Pulse there. Nori and Lar falling pretty low. Tark is able to follow up on the Ashe there. Signal, though, trading it out with that Genji and is going to look to try and make a lot of space. We are going to have the Orisa ult come out and catch out Excel's tank there. Signal going to be able to Javelin that Ana as well and follow up on that Curie. Signal just on absolute fire here with the Orisa blades.
Absolutely. Along with that, the only other ultimate he used was Window, so you still have Bob and Pulse ready to go. Pulse as well is going to be swapping over to Zarya, looking to go for a bit of a direct counter against the Orisa, but Nori does not care, is going to be immediately finding a kill onto Arrow here.
We are going to have the Bob come out onto the back line here. Causes the Genji and the Curie to have to do their best to kite it. Mogul able to pick out that Genji, though. We do see Excel's Bob also come out, but just going to get absolutely melted as this doesn't have... Oh, does manage to sustain with that Curie, but does end up falling. And Blitz does manage to pick out Larv there. We do have Nano come out onto the Genji, but the Blade's still not ready yet. We might see the Blade come out here with this fight. Larv gonna opt to hold that, it looks like. And it is a pretty even fight here, but once again, Excel does have that spawn point advantage. And we do actually have the Bastion switch from Arrow here.
Yeah, the Bastion seems to be just a bit of a desperate move to try and take Signal out there to make sure that they didn't get full tapped and still had a chance of getting into it to continue the series. But they are... Excelsior is going to have Blade and Rush here, which is still a mean combo to deal with, while Demons are going to have almost all their ultimates. Pulse is going to come out early here, but it's not going to be able to find anything.
And we are going to see Rooney use this rush here, kind of in a little bit of an awkward spot. Doesn't get much value, but we do have the Brig and the Orisa ult come out to try and stop Blitzbrains, all sending it flying across the maps. A little unfortunate for that Dragon Blade. This Zarya is going to be in a bit of an awkward spot between the team, but so is the Bat. The Bat's actually going to be able to pick out Pulsar. The Curie also in a very awkward spot, and we are actually going to have Larv with a switch to the Sombra dealing a lot of damage. They're already getting pretty close to the ults. And we are going to see a switch from Arrow onto the Mei to try and single out Signal and block them off from the rest of their team.
Yeah, but EMP is going to be ready here very soon. Grav is actually going to be ready here by Pulse, but they are going to be already going to get taken out very quickly.
Signal does manage to just barely escape that Mei wall, but unfortunately might get staggered here by the team. Signal just going to try and fight this and hold the bot for as long as possible. Excel does only have 2 minutes to push this bot nearly all the way, looking a little scary for them. And we still do have 2 ults ready for Demon, but we do also have the Grab and the Nano ready for Excel here.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind Pulse is going to be almost ready as well, and you have, if you're Excelsior here, you have to try and push it 142 meters to take the lead away from Demons. and especially such a low amount of time, it's gonna be a bit of a difficult ask. They are gonna be able to find an early kill, but it's gonna get traded out immediately afterwards.
We are gonna see the window come out here, and I'm really not sure what happened to Grab there. Possibly got eaten by the Orisa as we did hear it come out, but it did not look like it went anywhere. Okay, they used Battlefield there.
Interesting. Yeah, a bit of unfortunate circumstance there. Pulse now, after using the Grab, is going to be swapping over to the Orisa, but Signal has the Terror Surge and the EMP and the Pulse ready all to go. Doesn't look like Demons are going to try and push this very quickly, but they don't need to. As I stated though, the EMPs can come out and find at least 2.
And Signal is gonna look to push up with us. We do have the May ult also come out, and it does catch out too, it looks like, but there is no one there to follow up on those kills. Demons is gonna continue to push this payload as they do look to pick off Blitzbrain, and they do push this bot all the way with Demons winning map 4, bringing the score 3-1.
A very dominant showing there by Demons there, not letting up a single second, making sure that Excelsior were always just on the back foot, having to try and play second there. Very good performance from them. And with that though, they are now going to be 3-2 in their win record, so that's good for them. With that though, we do have to now talk about the MVPs for both teams.
I gotta go with Signal from Demons for MVP, putting up a legacy game, especially on Bruno Sapi there.
Yeah, the Hazard and the Orisa were absolutely amazing to watch. I would personally want to highlight the Orisa specifically. We saw at least, I want to say, 3 different 3 and 4Ks from them.
Yeah, on that last map.
As for Excel, I want to actually highlight Carlos on the Junkrat. I think they did a really good job on King's Row. It was something that Demons had to try and adapt to pretty quickly, and definitely was able to provide them a lot of value in the fights that they did win on that map specifically.
Absolutely, as mentioned, lots of spam damage. You don't see Junkrat played competitively that often, so it is very difficult to adapt to. But that will be it from us. But we will be having another stream here at 9 p.m. So you can catch us here on Kaizen at 9 p.m.
GG's.
GG's.